Hello there. We are going to read the book Mistaken Identity by Merline Lovelace. Prologue. Marsh Henderson leaned his shoulders against a lodgepole pine support beam, tipped his black Stetson lower over his eyes, and squinted through the dying rays of the northern Arizona sun. In the distance, a blazing sunset flamed the snow-capped San Francisco peaks to a bright gold. In closer, paper lanterns strung around the flagstone patio offered their own riot of color. The snappy strains of the two-step danced across the late August air that carried a hint of the fall that came early at these elevations. Lord, it felt good to be back at the Bar H. Marsh wasn't sure until the last minute whether he'd be able to steal away to join the festivities welcoming the newest addition to the Henderson clan. The moment he turned his blazer onto the dusty road to the ranch, he felt the tension that came with his job ease. Here in the shadows of the rugged San Francisco's, listening to the laughter of his friends and family, he could almost forget the stack of reports waiting for him in El Paso. Could almost bank out the grim images of the massacre perpetrated by the Drug Enforcement Administration's newest #1 fugitive, still at large somewhere in Marsh's district. Why the hell had he ever gone into law enforcement? He wondered, not for the first time. Why had he traded the blue skies and high mountain air of Bar H for the dark underworld of drug dealers and acid heads? Big John had wanted him to stay home and help run the spread, had wanted all 5 of the boys to stay. The rowdy young Hendersons had been too rambunctious to remain at home, and too eager to explore the world outside of Arizona. They'd all left for school, for military service, for the careers that took them to every corner of the globe. But they all came back every chance they got, to help bring the summer-fattened herds down from the high pastures in autumn, to wrestle brawling new calves into chutes during the spring roundup, and to gather for the weddings and christenings and funerals. Only Jake, the oldest, had returned for good after his hitch in the Marines. First working for his father, and then, after Big John's death, running the Bar H along with his own spread. Of course, he had good reason to dig his boot heels into the rich volcanic soil of northern Arizona. Brawny, hard-headed Jake had been in love with shy elfin Ellen for as long as any of the Hendersons could remember. Jake had been the first of 5 brothers to bite the matrimonial dust. Sam, the youngest, went next. Then, surprising everyone, Reese. Now only Marsh and Evan retained their free and easy bachelor ways, although hanging on to their freedom was getting harder to do in the face of the persistent efforts of their various sisters-in-law. Like Sydney, Marsh swallowed a groan as he spotted Reese's bride of 7 months making her way across the patio, another potential candidate in tow. Sydney had brought a film crew to the Bar H to shoot both the ancient Anasazi ruins around Flagstaff, 20 miles away, and the festivities to welcome Casey, Duncan, Henderson, Sam, and Molly's gurgling addition to the clan. Sid must have scored L.A. to come up with every single divorced or otherwise unattached female camera operator or sound manager. This one wasn't bad, Marsh conceded. If your tastes ran to rail-thin blondes with size 16 egos poured into size 4 jeans. Hey, Marsh. Hey, yourself, Sid. My husband claims you're the only Henderson who doesn't trip over his own feet on the dance floor. Your husband knows whereof he speaks. Want to take a turn? I can't. I'm next in line to hold Casey so Molly and Sam can chow down. But I went to a few LA discos with Andrea here before Reese turned me into a stoogey old married woman. Trust me, she can make every move known to man. Somehow,